All right. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We're still waiting for some people to come on in, so as soon as we get going here, I will let you guys know. All righty. It looks like we are moving along just fine here. All right, let's go ahead and get you guys into some of the action here as we're waiting for the last few guys to go ahead and get into this match here today. Appreciate you guys all joining us here for this Division 5 matchup. Division 4 matchup between TRR and 508P. Looks like our video has frozen. That's always wonderful. Go ahead and add that back in here. All right, there we go. We are all back in order here. Happy day. All right. So without further ado, I am going to be your host today, Mr. Night Falcon. Always striving to bring you the best in TPL's scrims and action here from the front lines here. Today we're going to be fighting over SME here. But first, let's talk a little bit about what we are looking at when we get to the rules here. Because just like any other TPL match, we got a few rules that we want to cover here. So first, we're going to be talking about one man arty. So one man only. Nobody else is going to want to get on that gun. Nobody else should be able to get on that gun. But ultimately, we want one person only to stay on one gun, loading the gun, and shooting the gun. Indestructible nodes, once they get them up, we want them to stay up. And Panther ban, still looking to have that Panther ban, even though, I might add, some of the changes that recently have been made in the Hella Loose updates and armor stuff, we're still considering it banned for the moment to just try to conserve the competitive integrity that we are looking to try to provide to keep things as even as possible here throughout the course of the season. Now, another thing to mention here is not on this list, but number 4 would be the commanders are unable to use the new commander artillery strike. So that will not be in use today. Anybody found using said stuff could face some disciplinary action, so don't want to have that happen. But as we are in the final week here of divisional play, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the standings, see where these guys both sit. So 508 currently sitting at 2-2, and TRR, the Rogue Regiment, sitting at 1-3. This is a very exciting matchup here, just to try to determine playoff seeding here moving forward. It's going to determine who might have to play in some quarterfinal matchups, who might be the higher seeded team going in, which could impact their ability to get into the championship of Division 5 here. So lots on the line right now. So if TRR can come in and get a win out of today's matchup, it's really going to throw a wrench into some things, as they would then be tied and have that additional tiebreaker over 508. But with SOS also sitting right there, this really is up for any game here in the final week of the league play. So lots of stuff to kind of have on tap here. Lots of things that could change with the course of this match. This is the first one of this week for this division. So it'll be really interesting to see how it all plays out. Definitely looking forward to that Embassy KRRC matchup tomorrow myself, but that's in the wee early morning of the hours. And so I will have to just follow up on that one. All right, so we're just going to let them know that we are all good to go. But while we are waiting for that final flip, let's talk a little bit about the average match statistics between these two. So currently, again, record 1-3 for TRR, 2-2 for 508P. We had a chance to cast a match for them a couple weeks ago. So happy to have them back here on the Falcon Cast. Infantry kills per minute. So this is the amount of kills that your infantry gets over the course of a match, and it takes it by however long that match was played. So as of right now, for infantry perspective, TRR averages about 11.56 kills per minute, whereas 508P lands about 10.97. So just about another half a kill, if you can put that kind of into perspective a little bit, for TRR over the course of their matches. Armor KPM, 1.20, and 508P air armor edging that one out a little bit, 1.49. Artillery kills per minute coming in almost to that double area. So it'll be interesting to see how the armor and the artillery play in to today's matchup. See if that 508P statistic can really hold up here, and if the arty for TRR is going to be able to kind of dominate the battlefield here as we fight over the hospice point at the top. Bazooka or explosive AT, however you want to put it. I just put it bazooka for kicks and giggles to make sure it's all nice and easy to understand for everybody. Currently sits 0.32 per minute, so TRR almost getting double the amount of rocket kills in their matches. But again, everything post-update 18 really has thrown a lot of things into a whack here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get us ready for the cast here today. Hoping, fingers crossed, that our timer and everything works appropriately like the way that it should. But as it currently stands, today's going to be a fight over Hospice. So let's go ahead, move on over here and get an idea of what this point layout looks like. So the point layout itself really divided by this middle road. For those of you that are familiar with this map, you'll know that Axis come in here from the west side, Allies come in here from the east. Allies get the added benefit of some additional area behind this big 3-story house. But the Axis have the additional advantage of kind of having an even nicely set backyards everywhere here. If the Allies get pushed back, well, actually, if either team gets pushed back too far into the sector lines pretty much are like right here and right here. They are going to have to be coming across to open fields. So if one team can get in here and really seal off Hospice, they stand a really good shot at pushing, holding at least for a 3-2. Just simply because they're going to force the other team to have to come across giant open fields. And as any of us know, giant open fields in this game are difficult. Definitely need to have some additional armor support on the backside to help you out through there. But alas, we'll see if we get to that point. We are looking for a grueling matchup here for over, with a prediction about this to go 90 minutes. So we're hopefully going to be able to get this ball rolling here soon as we're waiting for the last few people to go ahead and trickle on in. Looks like connection issues. I myself have already popped out once, as you guys saw there. Actually, I don't think you saw. I think that was before I switched over to the Gamecast side. So keeps things nice and exciting here for all of us as we try to navigate the stability issues that some of these servers and just hell us loose in general, have. Not necessarily servers. I'm just playing around here with the clock as we're waiting for the final bits to tick away here. All right, so we'll look and see if we do have the added benefit of our server stuff working as well today, or if you're going to have to kind of suffer with me through it a little bit. As of right now, it doesn't want to be sparked to life, but at the end of the day, it might come and be nice here in a little bit. All right. Let's talk a little bit about this point here and how teams can look to attack it. Get my handy dandy drawing tool out here. So as far as it goes for trying to get in and control this point, both teams going to be looking, of course, to maintain this main intersection right here. For the Allies, it's going to be key for them to get up and get this little pizza slice up here is what we like to call it, and what I'll probably use throughout the course of the match today. I'll probably be calling it pizza slice up here at the top. This area allows it to be kind of shielded a little bit by hedgerows for the Allies to try to get in. So if they can get in up here, have a little bit of room to be able to work with here on the northern side. So in order to hold this point, it's going to be really big for them to get up, hold this area, because as you can see on the backside, Axis have the advantage kind of this wheat field. They have this hedgerow that kind of stops them from being seen or being shot. So Axis definitely having the advantage up here on the north. So if the TRR can come in and block them out here, as they're going to be the Axis here, or sorry, the Allies, they can come in and win that mark, and it looks like we're flipping now. So without further ado, we'll stop talking and just get into the action here. We should know here in just a moment whether or not our little scoreboard is going to work with us today. Alright, so we are looking to join up on Mr. Tornado, their King Squad. Take a rifleman class so we don't mess anything up for anybody. Ourselves a nice little area here to kind of nestle on in. Not that it really matters because, as you can see, I go really invisible here. This tornado's already looking to man up on that gun here. He drops before the final node is created, but it looks like we might be missing rocks here in the middle. But Bull coming on in with that extra box here. Da, 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 da. Here I am, arriving with the box. Bull helping his team out here, getting that up and going. All right. Keep an eye here as teams go ahead and get on in. Let's give you a nice cinematic shot here. Something we don't normally get to see focused on here. We're waiting for these guys to go ahead and get on in. OP's going up. Apologize here. Today we're having some difficulties. For some reason our sounds didn't want to play nice today. So because of that, we're having to do a little bit of a jerry-rig system here. But we'll remove that. The good news is you still have sound on that side. So without further ado though, here we go. Alright, so it looks like for the Allies, got a Stuart tank, 2 Stuart tanks rolling out of the top here with a medium tank falling in right behind them. So going with 3 tanks on the northern side here for the Allies, and the Axis has 1 down there on the bottom. The Axis side going with a Lux on the top, medium as well. Rolling with another Lux and a Recon to the south. So with the new cooldown timers the way that they are, team's definitely looking to try to get some additional pushes here with some tanks. Try to help them out here as fuel tends to be a little bit more prevalent these days. Alright, so I can hear other shots going off here. Let's take a look and see if we have any other snipes that want to grace our presence here as we're starting to see guys pop on in here to the middle road sector. Dirtman riding on top of his iron steed here with his rockets, trying to get in, see what damage he can do. Looks like they are on a collision course here with the Allied transport truck. Rockets coming in. Nobody was there, unfortunately, but it looks like it was a well-planned rocket snipe. Lux taking it way around on the outside, though. Initial shots coming in, though. Lux getting all the way around. Transport truck for the Axis also trying to make that out of bounds run as the initial members of each team start to fall here. Private Ryan, one of the first few. Mario fan 90 coming in, laying some hate with that Browning out here. Browning sounding off as he tries to mow down anybody in this build here. But that Panzer IV definitely came in and said, enough of that here, Mr. Mario. So because we are having to jerry-rig our sound a little bit here, let me know if for some reason the sound is ultimately pretty high on your guys' side. And I will be happy to try to navigate that as in any way I possibly can. I'm seeing my bouncing, my equalizer levels here, my sound levels. I'm trying to balance it in a nice little area for you, but if for some reason I'm not able to get that in order. Feel free to put it in the comments. Let me know. I want you guys to have a comfortable viewing experience. Ludium now trying to repair his tank here as it's hiding here on the southern side. Ashka and Mr. Dr. Plan, though, looking to try to get up, see what they can do here, says Ashka puts a satchel down on the front side of the building here. Smoke grenade out. Whoa. Okay, satchel's still there. But it looks like those two guys are not there anymore. So, disappearing into the dust. It's a Teddy Terror here. Taking out some guys here as he tries to pick that corner. Bullet for you. Looking to get back up into this area. So it looks like our clocks aren't going to be working officially here. So let's go ahead and make sure we get our scoreboards on here. I want you guys to be able to track that as well as we can here. All right. I apologize. Caster Curse getting in there. As cap progress ticks back in favor of 508P here. But there we go. It's very short-lived as now it is moving back in favor of TRR. Hazel and Truck Roast. Running on up and Major Miller. Major Miller, though, unfortunately, on the backside of that, not able to go ahead and get the kills there. That Stewart tank barely surviving the satchel that went off here just to the north of it. But it is very well injured. Welshi coming around this backside here. Getting some shots on Red Steiner, getting a kill. Redacted, though, trying to make sure that he gets a little advantage here, taking care of some revenge here. Getting Welshi, gets a shot on Welshi. Welshi, though, making it look like nothing was bothering him. Gets around, makes another shot through the window. Redacted here, just trying to loop him on out of there. Somebody else there, looks like Heavy might have gotten an angle there. Able to take him out. As well, she kind of went on a tirade there in the background there. Speaking of tirade, we got a Lux floating around here in the back still. Grey Hat, though, looking to try to get angles on it, but not going to do, unfortunately, a lot of stuff from the front there. As Grey Hat's remains get pounced on here. Good rocket from Armadillo, though. Looks like he was able to get that engine in the bowl, able to follow it up here with a double tap here. Good teamwork on the AT classes here for TRR and removing that little pesky Lux tank that was just floating around in the background there. Right, so more and more rockets, more and more shots going out as TRR again on the advantage here. Big rockets going down the middle. And well, just like that, looks like Stewart tank that was hiding on the south side of the 3-story here is gone. Despite there being a rep station behind him, looks like he was not able to hold out much longer. So those Panzer Shreks just making their way in. We're able to go ahead and remove it. Lots of action here, still fighting over the mid-cap sector as nobody has been able to claim it quite yet. Looks like over the pizza slice area, the Allies have been able to gain a pretty good foothold. As we were kind of talking about before, they were definitely going to want to be doing that. So far, it looks like they have. Cap progress still moving back in favor of 508P. Welshi making his way back around in the background again. But unfortunately, he was heavily redacted by both Hazel and Redacted there. A Devil Dog able to come on in, mop up that for Welshi. Get a little bit of revenge as Teddy Terror and Sergeant Thrower come off the OP and immediately kill Devil Dog. So right now, just outside of the soft cap, or no, we're still inside the soft cap sector here. It looks like TRR has been able to gain a good foothold on the western side of the road. This should allow them to start opening things up a little bit here as Grey Hat with the rocket takes out the transport truck. Premium Dell just trying to get away, and unfortunately not fast enough to be able to do that. But now nearing 50% of the way capped here on the Axis side here. That it would tell us here is exactly whose bombing runs those are. Because as it stood, that one looked to be an allied one, but it did take out, it looked like a good number of people that had been able to push up and in. But just like that, here we go. Now we have it. Score now in favor of 508P, going 2-3 on the initial cap here. Let's take a look and see how things will look over the course of the next little bit. As far as it goes for TRR, though, doing very well at getting them plenty of OPs back up after the cap. Already seeing A Squad, Ed Squad, Q, and IR, E Squads, P Squads. Good discipline here from the squad leaders to go ahead and get pressure back on the point, make sure their boys and girls have somewhere to spawn, and you're seeing that already when it comes to the cap pressure. They're immediately able to get right back on that point. So good work and awareness from the officers of TRR to go ahead and get those back down. Just like that, 508P able to respond, cap pressure gone ahead and eliminated whatever 508P, TRR was able to get in, but still very well contested at this point, any second, and it definitely could look to flip. Looks like we have the first Tiger tank coming out, as well as the first 76 going on this northern side, so both teams looking to try to hold the northern portion here with the help of their armor. We're starting to zoom on in as it comes in on our left side here. Let's show these armor engagements. Heard from a lot of you guys out there in the interwebs that you like to see the big heavy buggers go off on each other. So we'll do what we can to go ahead and make sure that's available. Now, here you go. Here's an interesting way to look at this. So, not only have they gotten a Belgian gate, but 508P also getting a ammunition station up there. Try to get a little bit more of an advantage and seeing over some of these edges here. Sergeant Ed, the only person there alive, but Spive Dog 99 able to take him out. Now, it looks like probably from that side you get a pretty good angle on him. But if you can get an MG up there, they would get established. By golly, that's probably going to be a nice key spot there for them. All right. rocket coming in here from Sergeant Ed, though, trying to kill some of these guys that are trying to flood in here from that TRR. We have a blow up here in the backside. Is that just the, yep, just the default transport truck. Okay, I got really excited there for a second because the 76 was floating up there. But I didn't hear the Tiger tank shooting, so I wanted to make sure we didn't miss that. All right, so as you can see, I'm going back into kind of this dividing line road here. 508P has gained real good control over the hardcap sector. No blueberries currently in it from TRR. As the Tiger tank starts to take hits from AT here in the northern portion. Panzer IV watching nice over that southern area. Looks like some damage has been put onto this Tiger tank, though. Don't know if it's in the, probably just in the way of some track damage, as those bazookas most likely did not do any damage on the actual hull of the tank there. Gotta get right up the backside for those ones. Take a look and see how the Allied tank situation is going. So right now, 76 still on top. Got one medium Sherman trying to come up and support him as well. So we're looking initial armor advantages going here to 508P. As they continue to push their way across this main road, now pushing into the backfields area. So 508P getting into the area here where they are going to start to get some eye-line sights on the, trying to push them back into the fields. Welshie, though, trying to do everything he can to hold on to this southern side as we've seen him take out multiple bad guys here. But Welshie, there is a, oh, no, it's a wheelbarrow. I thought that OP by sure should have popped, but alas, it was just the distance that helped us out. Caused us some problems. Ollie gets some good distance shots here off this northern side. Loop's just ducking down in for cover, trying to gain whatever cover he can. As Ashka loops around, Loop's also moving. Ashka and Loop's both moving up on Bald. But Bald eliminated here from the backside. Not sure if that was Akasha that got him, but Akasha definitely taking out Rafik there. Dylan and Loops just look like they eliminated each other by perhaps the worst deaths in LA Loose, if you ask me. It's really cool to just hit each other. Pretty anticlimactic. So right now we're seeing TRR slowly make their way back into the point here and gain their foothold back into this area as a satchel goes off on the backside. All right, so TRR able to get established back on the southern side here a little bit when it comes into getting in hard cap, but at the price of letting 508P kind of suck into this eastern side on the farther south portion here. So Bluey, look around. I'm very familiar with Bluey. Pretty regular at my house here, especially with the interns. However, I feel this might have been Bluey's grandfather. But if they start singing, dancing, and talking about magic xylophones, we'll know what's going on. So, yeah, it's 76, though, taking a swan dive right in the middle, and unfortunately blowing on up in the process. Okay, slowly but surely, 508P getting TRR pushed back farther and farther, so we got ultimately it's a little convoluted here at the bottom, but very strong presence here on the northern side from 508P. As their next area of attack is probably going to be this northern portion here where we see a giant spawn coming in from TRR trying to regain some type of footing here. Penny's going to make it to that hedge first. Get a peek over here as Corporal Gray starts to take some shots down the road here. Penny hearing the shots, though, look to see if they can get an angle on him. With the shots, Penny unfortunately missing. Corporal Gray, though, not missing. Able to go ahead and eliminate him from the competition. Leopard, Weave, Stuke, sorry, and Private Ryan trying to hold down that northern section as Private Jackie and Corporal Gray try to look to advance. Grenades going off. Good grenades here from Corporal Gray. Jackie and Gray appear to be deleting the Allied forces here in front of them. It's going to allow them a big opportunity to go ahead and push on forward here. As they have now cleared that road, Private Jackie moving on down, seeing what they can do to go ahead and keep on holding that ground that they appear to be gaining here. I Squad, bro, you know me. Being the only ones up there close enough as a big spawn wave comes out there. So Private Jackie, we're gonna stick here for just a second. Actually, let's watch these big guys duke it out here. Looks like Panther 4 getting the initial hit on it, and the Steward unfortunately gets caught up on, or the medium gets caught up on the Steward. But it appears that it might have been satchelled already. So with that, definitely the 18 play and the armor play coming in big here for 508P. They continue to just drive TRR back. All right, so kind of looking through what we see at the moment. So this line, this northern push that we were talking about just a little bit earlier from 508P continues just to drive down this road. Now, with artillery battery being the 4th point here, and Route de Harras also being the 4th point, it ends up being a pretty good little slugfest here. Had it been Cemetery down here, probably could have seen a big drive here from 508P, but with them being back-to-back points, they're really going to have to exercise that front line and continue to try to push it that way and hope that TRR, for competitive sake, is able to go ahead and keep on holding that line. If they get pushed back any farther, they're going to find themselves in those giant open fields that we discussed earlier. Just like that, you're going to find it very difficult to try to get back up on Hospice. Welshi finding himself to be more comfortable in the backside of the enemy front line. Taking a shot on Chuck Roast, hearing Teddy Terror though, also getting Teddy Terror out. So Welshi doing very well to go ahead and keep holding and keeping his guys in the fight here. Now that's one of the things I love about competitive Hell Let Loose, is with how wide a lot of these 49 teams play. They're going to be definitely a little more stretched out. And so with that stretch out means most of the time engagements are going to be 1, maybe 2 people against each other. We're getting a good amount of bunching up a little bit from both sides, as the farthest they really stretch is down to the that main road down there on just north of Chapel. I'm sure we'll start to see that slowly kind of branch out a little bit more as teams look to gain a little bit more ground. But there's a lot of teams, especially as you get up into the higher divisions, that try to play as wide as possible. So even though the point would be up in Hospice, you still have battles going down here on Checkpoint, trying to control those key areas of the map to prevent their opponent from wrapping around them. But in order to do that, every man's got to be able to hit their shots. Every man's got to know how to control that macro, those front lines. And it takes a lot of time and practice that you don't normally get in if you're just your normal public matches here. I apologize, I never did start our timer here, so let's go ahead, we'll get that up here for us. Alright, so currently about 104. Alright, so that's going to be about as close as we manually can get it. So, alright, so Welshi and his boys look like they are still trying to push back in on this backside here, hunting around for garrisons and whatnot. Looks like they were able to remove the garrison right on the backside of Hardpoint here. Now causing a little bit of problems here for 508P as EP Christmas falls victim to some of the push here. Chuck Roast getting fires, takes out Hubby. But Hubby getting the headshot on the teammate back there from 508P. Did not get name, I apologize for that. Can't give you a call out. Right now, TRR doing some good work, ratting around a little bit on the bottom here. So A Squad OP doing great in getting in, causing a little bit of sabotage here. We're making 508P respond back, which hopefully in turn will allow some of their guys to go ahead and get back in. But as we were kind of mentioning earlier, looks like 508P has been able to control most of the hedgerows and the backyards here on the eastern side of Hardcap, which has now left all of these open fields that TRR has to contend with. So TRR now losing the northern portion, having to come off the southern side to try to get anything back in. So A Squad's OP is going to be very vital as they look to try to hold some type of presence in here. But with that, bad guys are starting to show up here in the area. Still up and going here. A Squad able to respond on it. Bluey trying to get a peek on Hubby, but Hubby not getting it. Not allowing that. Satchel goes off here, taking out Hubby though. Unfortunate turn of events here for Hubby as the bull looks to try to get back over on the other side of the hardcap sector. No garrison up on the hardpoint for 508P at the moment. As we lose a Tiger tank here. It looked like it was a tank engagement that was going on, but where was the heavy? Where is the heavy? 76 up in the north, able to get an angle on that. So that was a good shot here by the TRR crew to go ahead and get that Tiger tank out of the picture here. Trying to even up those armor battles here. Now, as I was kind of mentioning before, wide play sometimes helps with some of these little guys that like to go all the way to map edge, down and around. Just like that. More and more allies hitting ground here as Red Steiner coming on the backside here. A Bull taking fire just behind him. Chuck Roast, though, must have had to reload here as he tries to get an angle on him, taking out Bull. The A Squad's OP still lingering around us here, being a thorn here for the 508P side. As Leaf tries to just do what he can, pick out some mines. Welshi officer back in, though. It's going to be vital for him to kind of play a little conservatively as Welshi goes right down. As Kasha trying to hunt out this OP. Leaf, though, eliminating him. That's going to allow Welshi to get back in before any of the 508 guys can get back in themselves here to try to take it out. Flare sounds right behind our heads. Welshi back in. Going to be able to try to hold that ground here, allowing some of his guys to come back in on the eastern side of that hardcap. So good work from Welshi and his crew to go ahead and bring bodies back in, allowing for his boys to get back into a good offensive position here. Try to get a foothold in those townhouses and those folk gardens in the backside of those houses. Dylan moving on up on Berg, trying to gain this northern portion for his team here. Dylan getting an angle, but does not see Berg right there in front of him. Berg just holding the angle patiently, unfortunately missing his first few shots, but luckily not able to respond in time as Dylan, who is able to go ahead and eliminate him. Garrison up here in the north now for the Axis forces as more and more bodies come to try to hold this down. Looks like we have a Stuart tank and the 76 Sills on the northern side here for the Allies, trying to hold down the angle here. And just as we near 30 minutes into the match, welcome all those that are on the cast side. Appreciate you guys for joining us. And I'm Night Falcon here, trying to do my best to give you guys the highlights of this match. Appreciate you guys tuning in here to give us as much support as possible as we look to try to support these teams and the preparation they put into it. Give you guys a quick update on where we are currently through the course of this match. So first 30 minutes, we had about a 10-12 minute fight and struggle for the initial first cap here, as TRR went back and forth. TRR almost had it, but going back and forth with them and 508P. 508P able to finally just dig on in and push TRR out, getting that hard cap, and slowly but surely push TRR back, even to the point just a few minutes ago where TRR was absent from all of these houses here that we're looking at on the east side of hard cap. But with the heroics of Welshie and his squad, they were able to go ahead and get people back into these gardens here, and with the help that they've been providing, is help establish a strong foothold here, at least a little bit of a foothold here for TRR, as we see a precision strike missing in the northern portion here. I currently am locked here. There we go. Camera moving now. It's Big Dog looking to get some shots on Bluey. Dog on dog action here. Who is going to win? It is going to be the Blue Dog, with a little bit of assistance from Loops and BK Dent on the backside, but Bluey themselves falling as by way of Curtis Cat. So we got cats, we got dogs, we got everybody fighting it out today. Teddy Terror. Even the stuffies are getting a little bit of a nice, getting a nice little call out here from Teddy Terror. Might not be, Teddy, exactly what you're meaning for, but coming from Falcon Studios here, where we do have 2 young interns, we are plenty well versed on the Bluey front and also on the Stuffy front. As Cowboy shooting a flare up over the northern portion, try to expose where some of these tanks are, hoping that his Tiger tank there coming up on the back line will be able to get some type of work around them. Now we can see Major Balls on the backside here with Sergeant Shift and Mr. Xbox coming around on the backside here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what kind of shenanigans they have planned here, as the Tiger tank slowly moving up on the northern side. Looks like might have been noticed here. Let's see if 50's going to be able to get in. Oh! Rocket onto the garrison back there. Good work for Major Balls. Try to cause some danger for this Tiger tank. All right, appreciate the comments here. We'll be lowering the in-game volume just a little bit here. So unfortunately, with the audio, I do have to lower the master volume. I have to kind of keep it a little bit higher due to the kind of the cable that I'm using, unfortunately. But I am able to control it with my slider as well. So Mod and I appreciate the heads up there. Unfortunately, the chat league cable that I'm having to use to go ahead and get this up and going, had to kind of boost that up to make sure I had as much help as I could get. Make sure I get as much sound out there as I could. But I appreciate the comments. If it's still giving you guys a hard time, I did lower the volume just a little bit. All right, going back in, now that the Tiger tank has been able to claim all of the advantage there, I want to make sure we toggle filters off here. All right, we're back on it here. bombing run, though, coming on in. Looks like Axis bombing run going to the north. Call that one out as an Axis bombing run because hopefully not be a very difficult little Allied bombing run here, as it takes out a couple guys in the north, but that 76 is going to be able to get away pretty unscathed here. He doesn't know it's running right into it. Nope. Oh, but the last bombs fall right before hitting the 76. How close that 76 came to being a little damaged. But luckily for him, able to salvage a little bit of the gap there. But right now, let's take a look. We got some stuff going on in the backyard here, with 508P getting some spawn points here on the back side. H squad, I squad, S squad looking to try to set up shop. Push down into artillery battery, as again, it looks like 508P has been able to push all of TRR out of the hard cap sector and back across those fields. So the footholds that were there, Welshie and his squad are going to try to have to pull off some additional heroics here and try to get back up into that point. All right, Axis bombing run coming on in, though, on the northern side. All right, I still see your volume stuff going on there, Madini. We'll go ahead and give that a try here, see how that looks. Looks like we see some hits going on. Some of these medium tanks here from AT guns set up by 508P on the northern side. So not only with the support of a Tiger tank up here, but with additional AT guns. This is definitely a force to be reckoned with here. It looks like they've done their homework. Shot Ricking, though, off of the Sherman. But this is not a good place for that Sherman to be. That Sherman's still looking to try to hold up shop there, but still Ricking off the side. 76 staying in the fight here. Able to take out the Tiger tank, so Fury, good work from him and his crew to go ahead and get those shots, as they got the lucky angles here of getting out the take those angles coming out nicely to try to help them with the Tiger tank probably leaving themselves baffled as to what was going on. Corporal Gray, Sergeant Ed trying to come back and avenge their tank brother as more and more shots hit into the top. 76 having none of that. Did not destroy the gun itself, but definitely splashed the guys trying to man it. Private Jackie, though, quick with the hammer, trying to get more fuel for his team. Go ahead and give Private Jackie some screen time here. Good work on that front to go ahead and make sure those 60 points, those 60 precious fuel points, get right back into his commander's pocket. But Fury and his tank crew proving that they are a force to be reckoned with here, as it looks like, as we have no sooner said, a Panzer IV sneaking on back through the backside. But it looks like good awareness from the TRR infantry to go ahead and alert the 76 to let him know that that Panzer IV back right behind him, causing problems. As Private Ryan moves on up, looking to see what he can do to try to take out Spiv Dog 99, rockets in hand as well. Private Ryan looking to pull a strategic surgical push here. Is he gonna be able to get the satchel on? No, does not look like he was able to get it. But Beans trying to flip around as much as he can. Satchel is on the Panzer IV now, allowing Spiv Dog 99 to look on and allow his teammate to get those kills. As it appears that 76 now, unfortunately, going to steal those from Private Ryan. Unfortunately, Private Ryan going to want to try to clear the area here, as that satchel will go off once that tank is destroyed. And there it goes. Unfortunately for them, friendly satchel killed. One thing that I've kind of learned is that the satchels will always blow up if the vehicle that they are on gets destroyed. So it's usually a couple seconds later. So you gotta watch out for those, because you could definitely become the victim of a friendly satchel kill there. But nonetheless, Panzer IV eliminated, going up in smoke, allowing Fury and his crew to try to get back, get some additional repairs. Looks like we now have 2 heavy tanks, most likely a 75 and a 76. We'll check on it here in a minute, though, as TRR has gotten a good position down on the southern side, trying to push up through the church intersection. With the help of Welshie and his squad still looking to hold on well. All right, and the bull trying to hold an angle here, and I apologize. We are having to deal with the interns a little bit today. Hazel trying to get an angle on the bull, though, popping out the bottom of our screen. Hazel getting some shots on him, taking out the bull. And with that, we need to make sure we're trying to turn off that. We don't want our filters. Get away. We want to get our highlights here, so turn off that. There we go. All right. All the different menus here. Welshie, though, able to get revenge on Hazel there. More and more people coming up from the southern side here for TRR, as 508P looks to try to advance. Now, hopefully with this push again by Welshie, let's see if their squad and the rest of the team here can try to get a little bit of an advantage in helping his guys try to gain portions back onto that northern side here. Now that they're aided with the help of 2 heavy tanks and the help of a medium Sherman, they've got 3 tanks. So that should give them plenty of firepower here to try to get up into that northern portion here, Pizza Slice. Go ahead and take a look and see how this is kind of developing here. It looks like Fury and his crew have been able to eliminate all of the AT guns as well. So what was set up looked very good for 508P. Able to be eliminated by Fury and his crew, just trying to do their best impressions, not trying to put those words together here. Trying to get it of the actual Fury movie here. Embracing the little inner Fury here. Freeman and Dylan trying to make that push here to get that thing going here on the northern side. Mario fan, though, dropping some boxes, most likely going to be looking to get a repair station up. I'm sure his tank crews will be very appreciative of that as Freeman falls on down. Spiv Dog, though, 99, somehow making it all the way here into the back lines. Let's take a look and see what Spiv Dog's going to be able to do. Fresh off the friendly satchel kill, able to get a lot of area into the backside here as he is searched around in the wheat field. It looks like he triggered the garrison to go a little warm here. The garrison's going to be located just to his south here on the other side of the edge in the wall. The Spiv Dog going... Is he trying to... Nope. He'll have the rocket, so he won't be able to salvage that as Pickles NLD hits him once with the pistol. We may have gotten some sandwich crossfire here. Unsure if Pickles got him with the pistol as well, but it looked like some stuff did come in from the back. But for all that we know, Pickles nailing the kill with the pistol. As Dylan, Rafik, and Bola slowly are making their way up the hedge now. Sergeant Matt, Corporal Gray fallen by the wayside here as Berg's now the only cherry trying to advance down the position. Good battle back over the northern portion here. TRR making plenty of good strides here now that we are hitting 45 minutes into the competition. Trying to earn their way back into this. You can see the line slowly pushing back here for 508P. TRR just giving a good momentum push here. Now with the 3 tanks that they have up here, they're going to be able to do a lot of damage as they have 1 Tiger tank. So let's see if this Tiger tank goes down. It could prove to be pretty exciting here for TRR to continue to push that armor up into the northern side. Okay, so we see our initial medium tank here taking the first charge, trying to lure out whatever AT or other rockets tanks could be shot on it with the 76, hoping to get behind him and mop him up. As of right now, they are not running in any rockets. No AT classes currently available for 508P on that northern side. As EB Christmas just tries to play dodgeball with that tank. Looks like he got away with it all right. I don't have the same luck here, as Sergeant Steak looks to have gotten up. Is he going to get a satchel on? He looks like he will get the satchel on, so Penguin Milk and his crew satcheled already. We'll take a look and see if they're able to go ahead and get on out and make sure that that's not going to go off. But it appears the hostile red car pinning it up and making it difficult for these guys to go ahead and move on. Penguin Milk, though, getting on out. Is he going to be able to get the satchel? Sees the satchel, but friendly fire hitting the wall. Oh, boy. Leps Hard's going to feel bad about that one. Satchel going off, killing the medium tank. All right, 76 Tiger battling it out now. Beans getting out to try to provide a little bit of rep support here as the Tiger tank doesn't quite have an angle on it. He's right, and both of them shielded by the hedge. Neither one wanting to budge. Them both being one shot here at the moment. Private Jackie, though, trying to steal the thunder here. But unfortunately, meeting the sharp end of a lead bullet. As he tried to get around and cause some havoc there. Maybe get a satchel on those tanks. On that 76 there. So the patience of these tanks crews. Not wanting to budge an inch. Trying to wait for the other team to make the mistake and poke out first. Dirtman getting a shot on the Sherman, though. But Bean's able to get out and has got his tank now no longer on fire. Forcing Fury and his crew to go ahead and get on back. Now they're going to be going up against a fully healed Tiger tank in the north. And them with one shot in them could prove to be a little costly here. It looks like we have an airhead combo here coming in for TRR, just trying to drive on in. Welshie and his crew, though, trying to hold this airhead out. Will it get a spawn? As that bombing run came in well and cleared out a lot of 508 guys. Slapper, though, looking around, trying to find where that airhead was. Welshie, though, responding nicely as the initial spawn wave does come off of that airhead. So we got a big moment here where TRR, pushing up from the southern portion, needs to run the momentum here of the tanks on the northern side, try to clear out what they can as a corresponding bombing run comes through for 508P, eliminating the airhead. Not before a couple spawns came in, though, with a couple guys as well. MSG Heavy looks to have fallen victim after taking a few of the allies with him to a grenade. With the momentum, as we normally see in these types of matches, it's not the first push that you get onto an area that really claims it for you. But, oh, we got a situation brewing up here with the Tiger tank. Major Brawl's just trying to get angles onto this Tiger, seeing what damage he can cause here, as he has now made him move around. Does the 76 have an angle on him? No, not yet. Looks like Fury and the crew not in a position to put a firing angle onto the Tiger tank here. So that's going to continue to go on, move on back. But while they did not get it, it played a very important role as that Tiger tank no longer is in the fight. As cap progress starts to come in favor of TRR. Mr. Xbox, though, going to track that Tiger, make sure he knows exactly where it's going to go. The TRR shifting bodies, more and more bodies in. Looks like they have gained the northern portion. No OPs or garrisons there at the moment. They're definitely going to want to try to get that established so that they can have that foothold, get some more spawns in so they don't lose that northern portion. But here, 39 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. TRR putting pressure on. So the continual pressure, as I was kind of mentioning earlier, it's not normally the first push that gets it for you. But it's the consistent effort after those initial pushes. So here in 10 minutes, we could be still fighting over this area, but TRR looking to get some good angles as they work to try to weed out whatever garrisons they have here for 508P. As we know here on the northern side, 508P has their garrison right in this area. Right there, right below us. It got moved, but it's still there. Welshi doing some damage back here. He is gonna like seeing his name at the top of that scoreboard here, as Welshi, I'm sure, is gonna have plenty of kills going his way. Chuck Rose, Sergeant Hazel, unknowingly trying to come up against a wild Welshi in his natural environment. Let's go ahead and just call it that. Welshi getting shots on Hazel, takes out Hazel. Natural environment of being behind enemy lines. Chuck Roast and Welshi going on. Welshi just being a menace here on the backside against 508P. Tirade for Welshi here. As Welshi continues to just mow down enemy 508 players here, and it looks like finally his Lux ran dry as he evaporates. Petty Terror, though, letting him know of his dissatisfaction with him running around so much in their back lines. But it looks like Weef able to get back there, get that garrison here. So now 508P left without a garrison on the northern portion. Weef now going up toe-to-toe here with this Tiger tank, moving along here on the road. So Weef going to be able to get a rocket in. Rockets coming in from the north side. Sorry, from the east. Weef doesn't look like he has anything at the moment to try to take out this Tiger tank. Just going to try to continually report his presence here as more and more cap pressure comes back in favor of TRR. Just slowly but surely, TRR trying to clear out. Looks like they've lost a little bit of the pressure they had right here, but owning a lot of this eastern portion of the area of hard cap here. So, that being said, TRR definitely still putting the pressure on as cap progress continues to go back and forth between TRR and 508 here. Spivdog with the coveted top spot on the glider. It's either all feast or famine up there. Cuckroast, though, falling down. As it looks like we have lost a 76 here in the north. Good satchel play here from Dirtman, most likely the person getting that kill. So good work to be able to get on up and have that 76 not be noticed. Or that 75. No, 76, you had two 76s on there. Okay, cool. So good for TRR for waiting that 10-minute timer out, able to get a second one up. But it looks like 508P now owning Pizza Slice again. So the Battle of Pizza Slice proving to be a very impactful one here, as it looks like the team that controls it really is able to get the biggest pushes, as we were kind of saying just how important it was here off the start of the match. Sergeant Hazel again trying to make some heroics by rushing that tank. And by golly, it looked like Sergeant Ed's rocket went right through the middle of that tank. But it must have just been a little bit of our perspective flying just over the backside ammo caches and bags and whatnot, because that sure looked like it went right through the middle of it. But with that, currently sitting 50% of the way capped here for TRR, so TRR still doing great work trying to get in and hold this point as they continue to flood bodies in. Now, cap progress is coming in on artillery battery, but that's simply because all bodies on hand back here for the allies trying to get on top of this hospice cap here. Now, I apologize again for you guys in the backside there. I do have my interns here, and unfortunately, I cannot push them away. Got to keep making sure they are healthy and not killing each other. And it's a little easier to do when they're in the area. So if you hear them in the background laughing, giggling, that's what's going on here, as that Stewart tank is eliminated. All right, cap pressure stalled out here though, as 508P is getting more and more bodies here into the point. Tiger tank does end up going down. Most likely a rocket, or sorry, not a rocket, but a satchel with one big explosion. Cap progress still coming in now. Back in favor of TRR. TRR nearing 2/3 of the way capped here. as the 76 looks to move on up here. Try to claim its stake here. Knowing that that Tiger tank from the northern portion is gone. And they are the biggest fish in the pond at the moment. Corporal Ashkasha. Does he have a satchel? Will he be able to make a move on it? He does have a satchel. Makes a play on the 76 here. Does not look like he is aware. Fury and crew not aware that little Akasha, sorry, and got behind him with the satchel. The cap going in favor of TRR. So TRR able to get back up on top here, now leading at 3-2. So good work. Give a brief recap then of what we're currently working with. Initial cap going in favor of 508P after a good long 5, 10, almost 12-minute battle. But with that, Fury is going to be going away. TRR had themselves on their back foot for quite a moment, but through the heroics of squad members, mainly Welshie and his squad, and a few others, able to push up through the southern portion, get a little bit of pressure on, and with the help of some tank play in the north, TRR able to get back up on top here as we just are about to round the 1 hour mark in this matchup here between these two. And I'm Night Falcon here, trying to broadcast this match for you here. Anything you guys can do to help us out on that side. My apologies, Bear Jew, on the clock situation. It does fix itself here momentarily. But just like that, 508P starting to get some pressure back into here. Let's take a look and see how the garrison network is moving along here for TRR. Garrison being planted here, just southern side here in the garden trenches here. But 508P coming in strong here. Trying to salvage what they can here. Leaves plenty of room here for the northern portion here, so Lazarus going to be looking to try to get a garrison up here off of these supplies. Yep, these are allied supplies sitting right here as Sergeant Stake and Freeman going at it. Stake fallen, Freeman falling down as well. Lazarus, though, able to get the garrison up here as cap progress goes back in the favor of back in favor of the defense here. 508 not wanting to give up the ground easily, as OPs again put back up pretty well. Freeman now just trying to hold this garrison here as Matthias, with the help of his rifle, scoped rifle, comes on up. Grenades popping. Should see an initial spawn wave off this garrison relatively soon here. Freeman, though, eliminating the one Axis member coming across the way. Matthias getting some shots, though, on Mario Fan with the help of his MG42, or FG42, sorry. But 508P still getting progress here on the point. Matthias not seeing Freeman behind him, though. So we have the Battle of the Northern Garrison going on here as Sergeant Wyatt now is the next man up. Freeman, though, doing everything he can to support this garrison. Good work, Freeman, getting a good... We're going to give him plenty of screen time here as he is doing magical work on this northern side to help hold that garrison as Sergeant Ed gets a rocket. Does he get the garrison? Yes, he does. So garrison eliminated here. Supplies still available, though, so Lazarus should be able to get right back up. Hopefully Lazarus, though, learn from that placement, make it harder for Sergeant Ed and crew to go ahead and take that garrison out again. Bombing run, though, coming in. Let's see. It looks like it is an Axis bombing run coming along the backside here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how many people it gets. Bobble right in the line of fire. Hubie also. The garrison still staying up here for the Allies. That's going to be big. No garrison taken down off that bombing run. It'll be interesting to see if we see a corresponding Allied bombing run to try to push off any pressure that 508P is trying to put onto here. Sergeant Ed running on down the line. Lazarus able to get that garrison back up in the north. So Mario Fan, Lazarus, Bullied, Leopard trying to do what they can to hold the northern section here, as we can see The Panzer IV coming around the backside here. Looks like he might get an angle on this garrison here. But definitely 508P trying to play into their game plan to try to own this northern portion, as they are just devoting lots and lots of bodies here into this section. Yep. Garrison eliminated here from the help of that Tiger, or not Tiger. Man, I am struggling with my tank identifications here today, guys. Apologize for that. TRR making some good progress into the gardens area of this 3-story house in the back here. Mr. Dr. Plem moving on up. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how he does as he's facing off against Bubble and Spivdog. Let's turn on our X-ray vision so we know exactly where these guys are. Bubble most likely heard some stuff going around here as Lieutenant Colonel Mr. Dr. Plem goes in, makes some repairs here as he tries to get back into the fight. Spivdog 99 though, trying to gain a little bit more ground here for his team, but Lieutenant Colonel Mr. Dr. Plem says no. That is not what the doctor ordered, as Big Dog unfortunately takes him out as well. Shots for shots. Blows being traded on both sides. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good matchup that we have here between TRR and 508P. Right now, that Tiger Tank, biggest fish in the pond, as they look to try to help their boys control this northern section. As it looks like the Panzer IV that we were seeing rolling around here in the back also goes down. We were just about to pan over to you to see what kind of action you had going on, but Freeman looks to have ended that tirade with the help of his bazooka. Putting it right up the exhaust pipe here. All right, so let's take a look and see how lines are moving up here as we just go back up into the Falcon Cam here. Now, TRR looks like having established this sector down here, looking very good for themselves here. Able to get J-Squad, funnel them back into here. J-Squad looks to be moving to try to get a backside push here onto Rue. That front door definitely being very contested here at the moment, as it appears a friendly recon plane has gone up. Let's see if a corresponding bombing run is going to follow suit. Our supplies dropping to the north. Now, as of right now, the Allies doing fine on resources. Plenty of everything. Enough to do plenty of action here. This Tiger Tank eliminating the medium tank here on the southern side of Hardcap here for the Allies, leaving our lone medium tank here, crewed by Penguin Milk and his crew. Just making sure they don't come across that Tiger Tank that just perched so precariously up on that northern side. Freeman getting rockets on it though. Freeman in contention here with Welshie for player of the match here, with some of the heroics that they've been able to pull off here. Big plays coming from both of them as Burrs just on the backside of the hedge, able to take out Freeman, as Freeman looks to have been just trying to diagnose, figure out what was going on. But good work from Freeman to get up there and at least get a couple of rockets into that Tiger Tank, damaging him, making it easier for hopefully the next AT guy or tank to come on by and get it. And with that, Penguin and his crew eliminated. Fortunately, not able to get more shots into that Tiger Tank on the north side. But have no fear. It looks like we are getting our next 76 coming out of the northern portion here. That'll be interesting with such little time. Not necessarily little time, but we are, let's say, in the fourth quarter of the match here. Or getting to the fourth quarter. I'd be interested to see if they wait for another 76 to be available here on the Ally side, or if we do end up seeing a 75 come on out of the action. All right, let's take a look and follow in on the infantry now that we've been focusing on the north side so much. See how Welsh and Squad and company are doing down here. Welshi trying to get repaired up. Taking out roped irons. Russo, though, hearing the shots, but looking the wrong way, giving Welshi an easy attack angle at him. Bluey! Back fighting through here. All right. Spiv Dog. Armadillo. Trying to push off Cat Progress that's starting to move on in for 508P. Bluey able to take out Welshi. All right, so with that, 508P overloading this northern portion here with the help of 2 tanks. We got 1 Tiger from the south, 1 Tiger in the north. So big tank push coming in, armor push here for 508P. Looking to roll on through, see what damage they can kind of do, as it looks like the presence they are putting onto this point is proving to be difficult here as Dylan moves on up. Is he going to be able to get the satchel on? Satchel is on the Tiger tank. That is a big play here from Dylan as he tries to maintain his calm while he's under the fire. Fortunately for Reznol and his squad, that's Panzer IV did not see that satchel get put on, or it looks like he may have seen the satchel get put on. It looks like Reznol is going to be able to get that off here. Reznol with the heroics. Gonna get it off. Yes, he does in time. Good work. So tank push still alive here for 508P as we are now nearing 3/4 of the way capped here on point. Tiger tank still holding the north very well. Reinforce is down, so bodies from TRR still trying to get up into the point. Big, massive spawn wave off the garrison here. Are they going to be able to get enough bodies up into the hard cap to stop the pressure? Does not look like it. So it is going to be on the heads of the officers here to go ahead and get OPs right back up here as 508P ends up getting that point here with just 22 minutes left here. Taking the lead back 3-2 away from TRR. All right. Let's take a look and see how 508 or how TRR did at getting garrison OPs back up. So it looks like only 2 at the moment. J Squad's OP looks like it might not stay up much longer as more and more 508P guys pushing on into the southern side. Yep, looks like their OP is gone. So not like the first time, unfortunately. So 508 going to be able to push on in, control a lot of this ground here, as TRR is forced back onto their back foot a little bit here after losing that cap. So a total of 3 mid-caps here in the match today. Very good matchup between these two, just like we hoped and knew it would be. Initial cap going to 508P after a little back and forth struggle where TRR almost came out victorious on the northern on the first initial cap. But 508P able to push him on back as far as pretty much this area right here, which really left TRR in a difficult situation, but through the help of some of their infantry squads, able to gain a foothold in the south, which allowed them to slowly force more and more bodies back from 508P, along with some very good armor play, was able to eliminate a lot of the Axis armor and allowed for that push to come in. So here, 20 minutes left in this match. Both teams gonna be having some bombing runs here relatively soon, as those are both 10-minute cooldowns with airheads. So if TRR can go ahead and hold their presence here on the eastern side of hardcap, might be starting to see some progress or some airhead heroics here as they try to get back in, set themselves up here for 1, maybe 2 good pushes back onto the point. Battle of the North still going strong here as Private Ryan moves on up. Facing multiple bad guys here as a spawn wave off of an OP. Gets a little bit of help from Weave, Leopard, and Bald. Tiger Tank, after getting some full repairs, moves on up as Private Jackie takes him out. Lazarus, though, Gonna need to rise up from the dead on that one as an OP is eliminated. F Squad's OP as well from the bush. So Private Jackie able to get in, cause a little bit of damage here. Sees Leopard, takes him out before he can get that OP back up. Bobble, though, also falling victim. Private Jackie on a kill streak here. Dylan looking to end the kill streak as Jackie dodges, dives, ducks, and dodges all those bullets. Hurled his way by Dylan. Getting his gun back on the angle. Private Jackie able to take out Dylan. But unfortunately, Private Ryan, no saving needed on the backside, takes him out as well as Cowboy. Private Ryan may have very well just opened up the way for his group to go ahead and get back up into the northern portion here. So good heroics here from Private Ryan to stave off that offensive push here from the Axis side. Now, TRR still maintaining that foothold here on the eastern side of the point. Friendly strafing run coming on in, though. Where's that going to land? Over the backside garrison. Keep that up here as Recon appears to have found their way all the way back there. Trying to cause a little bit of havoc in the back lines. All right, so this is a very, very important place. TRR cannot lose this portion right here. So the battles here, every gunfight, crucial to holding out this point here as Big Dog takes out Happy Christmas. Sergeant Hazel getting behind him and taking him out in turn. Back and forth trades. Nobody going on major kill streaks here at the moment. Did not sound like a rocket and it hit into that Tiger tank, but could have very well been a rocket as it doesn't look like any tanks currently have an angle on that. We do hear some armor shots being hit on the backside though here. As it looks like, do we have a little... Yeah, we've got a little bit of a Greyhound shenanigan going on here, trying to punch above his weight class here, hitting that Panzer IV multiple times. Panzer IV trying to retreat back. Knowing that one shot, no sooner had we said it, that the Greyhound found its way into the great beyond. Another fun thing about competitive Hell Let Loose is you often find yourself, as we were talking earlier about how wide people can play, you often find yourself fighting and dying over the same place for 90 minutes. So you gotta be patient as well. We like to say here in the 22nd, the team I play for, and you have to make sure you're up on your subscriptions to your Serenity candles. Make sure you get plenty of those as you prepare for some of these matches, because Artie and armor can just be a pain. This looks like a push coming in off the southern side here. Bombing run though from the Axis forces trying to clear out that northern portion. So you're the Allied commander, Raphael. Might be hearing this saying, okay, they just wasted their bombing run. Didn't waste it necessarily, but could be coming in and saying, okay, if I try to do an airhead or combination or something like that, they are not going to have a bombing run to try to blow it up like they did last time. So with that information in your back pocket, could definitely prove to be helpful here as Loops is making the loops back around here. Did not clear out all of the OPs though. Major Tom though looks to be one of the few men here as he reveals his position here as Sergeant Hazel gets up, takes out that OP. So just as we were saying, we did not want TRR to lose that garden sector south of Hardcap. They are taken out and pushed out of that sector. So right now, 508P doing very well at boxing out the soft cap sector, especially the hard cap here in the northern portion. The closest person here for 508, or sorry, 508, not 508, TRR, being down there on the southern side for H Squad. Well, she looks to be trying to cause some late game heroics, trying to get off the backside here with B Squad, seeing what kind of things they can do, so we'll keep an eye on that. As these bodies continue to push on up here for 508P. So as armor currently stands, 176 on the field right now for the Allies. one Tiger tank here, followed by the Panzer IV on the back. So we are looking at one heavy tank for both sides, two heavy tanks now, another one coming out from the backside. Okay, it looks like we have some more heavies coming up trying to support the additional 76 here. So let's take a look and just see, for curiosity's sake, if that 75 decided to become out as Sapper Best is removed from the competition here. Penny out trying to salvage the tank here. So it looks like 76 in play. 76 also in play. Fury and his squad as Dr. Cox looking to get some more rockets in the backside of this medium Sherman as Penguin's Milk able to take out Dr. Cox, but not before taking two in the backside there. Now, we're going to keep this a family-friendly show, but if it wasn't, there may have been plenty of jokes we could have made there. But here on the Falcon Cast, we like to try to keep things nice and G-rated here. Got the interns in the back anyway. Little ears, you never know who might be listening. Right now, 508P doing very well at boxing out the entire section here of hard cap. No blueberry in sight. Now that we have 13 minutes left, TRR needing to go ahead and funnel as many bodies, try to get as many bodies into the point as possible. We near these final closing minutes of the match. What kind of shenanigans, what kind of plays will we see? Yet to find out. But I'm sure we've got some excitement stored up here for the final 12 minutes. All right. Sergeant Hazel making a rush right across the field. Looks like, as of right now, free to do so. No allies there to meet him. As Freeman tries to hold up against Loops and Borat. But they prove to be too strong for him. Commander Raphael able to pull the cloth over the eyes of Loops a little bit here, but fortunately not of Mr. Thrower on the backside there. All right, so looks like medium's probably repairing in the backside. Got our 276s here on the north side. Gonna have to try to use the momentum of these pushes, try to time it with some bombing runs and other things. So looks like the best thing going right now is coming off of the southern side here for TRR. So let's go ahead and swing our camera around here, see what we can get there. As Bald Kendall moving on up the backside here. Big Floppa in pursuit as well. As more and more Axis bodies falling off on the backside. So trying to do a wide flank here. Looking for that honeypot of OPs and garrisons up there on the backside. Alright, so the Tiger tank trying to use the corpse of that 76 to move on up, try to get what angles they can. As Reznal and his squad look to just make sure they hold that road. Don't want anything big coming down that way. But we do know on the other side of the hedge, it's a couple 76s. Now, as always, we will be looking at the stats here on the back side of the match. So it will be interesting to see how these armor battles all played out, because we know that kind of gone back and forth with who was able to hold the advantage. With both teams, once they kind of secured that advantage, we're able to get in and take the point. So 10 minutes left. We've falling victims to Corporal Pickles, though. First shot into the Tiger tank. As Freeman getting behind him with the rockets. Freeman, can he get another shot? Unfortunately, no. Gets eliminated. Blown to smithereens there. But that's going to help his 76s here as they look to try to push up and get more and more fire onto this Tiger tank. One Tiger to the north, one Tiger to the middle road. 176 double stacking together with the medium crew in tow as well. Big Floppa, though, on the backside here, trying to be a little bit of a rat himself. Big Floppa is on the backside, though, using our X-ray vision. Taking out Ronnie Cole. Big Floppa with a big kill. With Heavy coming up the stairs as well. Big Floppa, though, don't run too fast. Oh, Big Floppa able to get past the initial bullets here of Heavy. As both of them try to peek out. Heavy and Papa exchanging blows. Both retreating for the relative safety of trying to get some bandages back onto their sore, bleeding bodies. As Floppa retreats up into the top. Okay, this is just too exciting. We have to stay here for just another couple seconds as Heavy and Jackie try to move on up. Trying to find out where Floppa is. Floppa throwing grenades. Taking out... No, Heavy. Able to escape the bottom side there. Floppa, though, appears to have been the person that fell in victim. Private Jackie now, as Private Jackie is able to storm the north, storm the top level, and get it out. Now, lost the Heavy tank here, so one Tiger down as the 76 pushing front door. .176 able to make good progress here in getting that out. Now leaving one medium and one Tiger up on the top here for the Axis forces. 8 minutes to go. We've got just over 5 minutes, just about 5 minutes here for TRR to start putting some cap pressure onto Hospice. No doubt we're going to start seeing some bombing runs and probably an airhead, as there's plenty of fuel available for both. All right, in the southern section here, going all in favor of TRR. So let's go ahead and look at that divisional line here. We can see that Blue on the left side really pushing down in with Miller and Red Steiner battling it out there. Grey Hat throwing some rockets down. Kloss Big Dog looking to try to get it back up in the point. But Bluey holding on. So we got some dog on cat action as Bluey takes off, killing the cat. But Bluey also falling victim to Hubby on the backside. Hubby, Hubby, I know I've said it both ways, so at least one of the times I've gotten it right. So we're going to call an average of about 50% on that one. Batting 500, I think, as they say. Not a baseball guy. But I think I'm using that right. Don't quote me on it, though. Dylan facing a lot of cherries on the northern section here as the major push here. Pickles Wild moving on up. Is he able to get the satchel on him? No, he didn't. He has not. Pickles Wild needs to kind of move around, give himself a little bit of a better angle as that satchel now is on the ground. Is he going to try to pick it up? Yes, he will try to pick it up. See if he can go ahead and get another angle on that. Bombing run coming in for the Allies, though. Bombing run takes out the satchel and our friendly engineer, or our Axis engineer there. But we have an airhead landing here. We do have an airhead bombing run combo that came through. All right, TRR, this is their push. Can we get it taken care of? As the 76 pushing into hard cap. Big spawn wave here for TRR. They have plenty of bodies here to try to hold the point. And with that, cap progress coming in for TRR, are they going to be able to push 508 out? 508 still having the advantage of their garrison in the backside. But boys and girls, we are in for a final exciting couple minutes here, though. Bombing run here for the Axis coming in, though. Unfortunately, is it going to be close enough to get this airhead? It is not. Airhead stays alive. And by luck, TRR gets another big spawn wave off of it, now fighting it. Private Jackie trying to take out this medium tank here. Moving on up. Does it get the satchel on? He does. Penguin Milk satcheled with his crew here. Need to just try to take as many of these Germans with them if they have a hope of trying to hold this point now. Being heavily flooded right now with TRRs. TRR nearing about 40% weight capped here. Airhead still up and cleared. No danger yet for TRR as TRR continues flooding all bodies into this point. Looks like already landing a little bit north here. A little bit east of where it could be landing here for the Axis forces. But there are a whole lot of blueberries right there, boys and girls. TRR in a strong position here for some late game heroics here. as they just continue spreading on out. 76 taking out the Tiger tank at the top. And boys and girls, 80% of the way capped here, almost here for TRR, making some late game heroics. And what excitement. This is what competitive Hell Let Loose is all about. This is what we get up for, boys and girls. Final pushes like this just make it all the more exciting. Desperation strafe run coming on in, trying to take out as many allied forces as they can. So we are nearing 95% of the way capped here. Just a few more seconds. TRR will find their way back into the lead here at 3-2. With the cap, TRR in the closing minutes here, able to pop on up. Now it's not over yet. We still have 1:54 seconds. Lots of OPs able to go right back up here for 508P. Airhead no longer there. Gonna need to get a garrison. But without the help of armor, that Tiger tank pushing on up, gonna come straight on to that 76. We got one Puma and one Tiger tank pushing right on in as Devil Dog eliminates some of the supportive arty on the backside. Puma goes down, gonna block a little bit of the way here for his Tiger tank. That's gonna make it a little difficult here for his guys to get back in. Looks like they were able to go over the corpse of their friends here. This tank battle right here gonna be able to prove a big deciding factor here. Fortunately, looks like the Puma is causing more and more problems here for the Tiger tank. Not able to get back up into the point here as they are getting stuck. That is going to delay their ability to face this 76, only aiding TRR and their ability to try to hold this cap. So 49 seconds here, ladies and gentlemen, or 508P to get more and more bodies in. We are now all in. Every single body in the soft cap sector here. Both teams just clawing into here, trying to get a foothold on here. TRR trying to hold it. Looks like Puma finally eliminated here, but it looks like the Tiger tank took the initial shot here as they are forced to retreat. 25 seconds here. Will 508P be able to gain a little bit of pressure here? Garrison up to the north for TRR. Now, how aggressive is this 76 going to be? Knowing that the Tiger tank has a shell in him, they could pull some heroics here and get it out, but they're not going to push. They're just going to hold on back. As with that, TRR going to secure the victory here with a 3-2 back and forth victory. So to give you a quick breakdown of what led us to this exciting moment, 508P able to come out and get at the cap here off the initial rip. TRR was able to get about about three-fourths of the way captured up on the point. But eventually 508P able to get on up and win that battle, pushing them back to the open fields. But TRR striving and not giving up, able to get back in, take the point, just for 508P able to come back a few minutes after that and get it, which led us to the heroic push there, heroic final push that we saw at the very end from TRR to go ahead and hop on in, get that win here with just over 2 minutes remaining. Now cap progress coming in though, unfortunately a little too late for 508P, but will give them a little bit of ability to hang their hat on here. Knowing that cap progress did start to come back in just goes to show how back and forth this match has been. The tug-of-war battle between these two. Big spawn wave off the southern garrison here for TRR. Trying to get back up into the point. But we see some kickflip shenanigans going on here from the Stuart tank here. As Fury and his squad eliminating some of his helpers on the outside, but Bluey trying to get behind here. Dirtman, will he get a rocket? No, but we're seeing the best backwards driver here in the Sherman tank going on. We've got some tricks going on here on the backside for this little Stewie here. Bluey falling on down though. There's more and more explosions, trying to take as many people with them as they can. But that, ladies and gentlemen, does it with TRR winning the matchup 3-2. What a great game here. So we had a couple good little people there that we want to give our star to, but I think with that, with the effort that Welshie and Freeman and Raphael all threw into there at the back, I'm going to give them my 3 stars of the game. But ultimately, commendation going to go to Welshie and his crew for getting back there and causing a lot of problems on the SOB, or sorry, not SOB, but the 508P side. And did a Friday night fights for SOB last night, so I think that's where that kind of got stuck in my head. But with that, victory going in favor of TRR, gonna make the standings very interesting as they go into the playoffs now that that final week is over for both these teams. Be interesting to see how the rest of Division 5 shakes up. Division 4, goodness sakes. See how the rest of Division 4 shakes up here as all of those games still yet to be played. All right, so as we're waiting for the game to end so that we can go ahead and take a look at the stats here. All right, we'll go ahead and pop on the overlay here for us. Just phase out the sound here for the system. All right, let's go ahead and transition on over here. We can look at our desktop, see a little bit how the sausage is made there in the background. All right, so sure that sounds not too heavy. Now there you guys go. You're seeing a little bit where you are. I'm 30 minutes in the future. All right. Get a little bit of sound here in the background for you guys, so you don't just have to hear my voice talking over everything. All right. So, top killer here, Tornado, leading with 133 kills on Artie. 126 going to Big Floppa. Big Floppa, let's go ahead and give you a highlight here on your kills. M1 Grand going wild there with the M1 Grand. We spent a lot of time with Welshie, but it looks like we should have spent a little more time with Big Floppa. Is Big Floppa setting a good high mark there with the M1 Grand of 118 kills. Infantry battle going 1,300 even here for the Allies to 1,159 here for the Axis. Machine gun kills advantage going to the Axis forces, but artillery, you know, not too frankly different as Corporal Crazy Texan able to get 114 to the 131 here of, let's see, Tornado here. But the armor battles we were talking about earlier, very evenly matched. And that just goes to show how back and forth those armor battles were. One team would have the advantage and the other team would then have the advantage. But at the end of the day, they're leading to pretty much be dead even in there. So both armor crews coming in very strong to try to help their teams. All right, bazookas though coming in big with the AT here for TRR playing a big factor, 46 to 22. Now, not all of those are necessarily tank kills, mind you. Could be infantry kills as well, but definitely plenty of bazookas being on the field here for TRR. With plenty of mines and a nice even spread. I mean, the top 7 definitely dominated here from TRR, but definitely matched up pretty much evenly as the next 7 falls in favor of 508P. So overall, a very exciting match that we had on our hands here today. Appreciate you guys all joining with us today. Again, I've been Night Falcon. Appreciate all the support for these teams as we look to try to do everything we can to bring everybody into this wonderful world of hella loose competitive gaming that we see. Any likes, subscribes you guys can provide to us, greatly appreciated, as it helps us go ahead and unlock a few more additional features that we can then turn around and help you guys out with on the streams. But with that, appreciate you guys all joining. Feel free to give likes, subscribes, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time on the battlefield. Next Falcon cast is going to be tomorrow. We're going to be casting the Taco versus Exodus match. I'll be streaming from the Taco site, so I invite you all to go ahead and take a look at that. But with that, thank you all for attending.